Yo, what's all going on, guys? It's Mikey back here. And today, I'm going to be going over my predictions for the NLCS, both series, and the ALDS, both series, those as well. Let me know if you guys want me to do more predictions for the NLCS and the ALCS and even the World Series. You know, a little bit more in-depth predictions on those after these. And next season, if you want some NBA predictions, let me know as well. I can do those as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so start with the ALDS first, the Yankees and the Rays. We're going to be predicting these teams based off of mainly their offense, their starting pitching, and their bullpen. So for the Yankees and Rays, the Rays have a really good young offense. They don't strike out a lot. Willie Adames, besides Hunter Renfroe, who's struck out a bit this season, a good amount. But Willie Adames, G-Man Choi, Brandon Lau has had a breakout season. Kevin Kiermaier has had his moments on the offense here and there as well. They have a good, solid young team. And then Mike Zunino has had his moments on offense too, even though he's mostly regarded as a defensive catcher. The Yankees offense, it's an experienced offense, unlike the Rays, but they tend to strike out a lot, rely on the home run ball a bit more. Obviously, they have LeMahieu, Brett Gardner still there. They're like little exceptions to the Yankees offense, but besides those two, they strike out a good amount. I'm going to give the advantage to the Rays on offense there because after Garrett Cole, and then we'll get into the starting pitching after this, the Yankees rotation hasn't been very solid, obviously with Masahiro Tanaka struggling against the Indians in Game 2 of the Wild Card Series there. After Cole, I'm not sure about the Yankees rotation. And the Rays have a ton of guys that can play any position, so they're going to have solid depth, even with Randy Arozarena having a breakout year. The Rays starting pitching has a big advantage after Cole, again, with Tanaka really struggling. Rays have their big three with Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, Charlie Morton. Even though Charlie Morton hasn't been the Charlie Morton we've been used to seeing over the last 2 years or so, he's still very capable of pitching in October. We've seen what he can do. Where I think this series is really equal and be really intriguing is their bullpens. Both teams have incredibly good bullpens with good closers. Obviously, the Yankees with the big names like Aroldis Chapman, Adam Ottavino, Zach Burton, and even Tommy Canley has been really good for them. The Rays have more underrated bullpen, but it's been very good. The ERAs are great, with Nick Anderson closing and setup men Diego Castillo, Jose Alvarado, and Colin Poche. But overall, I'll give the edge to the Rays due to the strength of their starting pitching in 5 games. So have them winning in 5. But the Yankees could definitely pull this off as well. It's a tough series. Now on to the Astros versus the A's. I think this series will be really fun, and there may be some tension. Benches clearing possibly between the A's and the Astros. And the Rays and the Yankees are a bit of rivals too this season, so may see some tension in that. Overall, in this series, from both offenses were number 10 and number 14 in the AL in batting average in the regular season, so not necessarily two monster offenses going at it. However, the Astros have the experience in the postseason with Bregman, Altuve, Carlos Correa, and so their offense. I'm gonna give the Astros offense just a bit more advantage there because of the experience. With starting pitching, I'm gonna give the edge to the Astros as well, because it was great against a strong offense from the Twins with McCullers and Valdez going for them. Framber Valdez has had a great postseason so far. He's shown he can be dominant, but the A's have Bassett going for them and Manaea. Bassett has been amazing this season, so that'll be interesting to see between the matchup between Bassett and McCullers for Game 1. I'll give the edge to the Astros here, as their pitching was good again against the Twins. For the bullpen, I think the A's have by far the biggest advantage in the bullpen out of any of the aspects. The A's with the A's with Liam Hendricks and Jake Diekman with Joakim Soria and Lou Trevino. Even though Joakim Soria has had his postseason struggles lately, in the wild card series he pitched well. I think the Astros' inexperienced bullpen will lead them to a bit having problems at the end of games. So overall, for the Astros VAs, I can see the Astros actually winning this game and winning the series in 5 games. But I can see the A's winning too. Obviously, I think most people want the A's to win. I do too, because the Astros and the cheating scandal in 2017. But I don't know, the experience for the Astros. I don't know, something about that team. I feel like they'll come through and beat the A's, even though maybe undermanned from the pitching aspect. Now on to the 2 NLDS series, starting with the Padres and the Dodgers. The Dodgers are the beasts of the National League. It's that simple. The Dodgers don't really have a weakness. They have a great offense, great starting pitching, and great bullpen. Dodgers offense, obviously, Cody Bellinger didn't have that type of year, that MVP type of year, but he's been solid. Mookie Betts, obviously, top 3 MVP candidate. And AJ Pollock has been solid for them, getting Justin Turner back. And just the offense for the Dodgers is just it's insane. Will Smith has emerged as a great catcher. Their offense is ridiculous. But the Padres' offense is still very, very good with, obviously Tatis, Machado. That duo has been marketed so much, and it's great to watch a young team like them. Grisham's had a good season. Cronenworth also had a good season. Will Myers played excellently in that in the wild card series, as well as adding Tommy Pham too, with Mitch Moreland for some veteran experience. So both offenses are actually very good, but the Dodgers, I'm going to give a slight advantage to them because a little bit more experience in the postseason. For starting pitching, unfortunately with the Padres, the injuries with Dinelson Lamet and Mike Clevenger, I feel like the Dodgers starting pitching is going to have a huge advantage here. With first 2 games for the Dodgers, they're sending out Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw, and then what remains to be seen for the rest of the series. But with the Padres, they can't get Lamet or Clevenger for Dinelson Lamet or Mike Clevenger for this series. I don't see how the series can really be going 5 games. I mean, maybe the Padres will pull out 1 win, but I can see this only going 4 games without Lamet and Clevenger. Zach Davies has been decent for the Padres, but overall, I don't think they can pull off like a bullpen game that they did against the Cardinals in Game 3. And then again, just going over the bullpen, the Dodgers have a great core of their bullpen with Kenley Jansen in the back, Joe Kelly, Blake Trinan, Pedro Baez. Those names will probably shut down the Padres offense. So I have the Dodgers winning in 4. But if Lamet and Clevenger come back and pitch well, the Dodgers, I feel like there can be an upset, but the Dodgers will probably pull it off in 5 if they come back. Now on to Marlins versus Braves. The offense, huge advantage here for the Braves. The Braves scored the second most runs in the National League, 1 run behind the Dodgers. Brian Anderson, coming off of a 0-for-9 wild card series, I think he struck out 5 or 6 times. So he's cold. Aguilar, Corey Dickerson, and Garrett Cooper for the Marlins had good series, so they might pose a threat, as well as Miguel Rojas. Rojas is a very underrated player. Been watching him, and he like the captain of that team. He's killed the Braves in that past, so Braves do have to watch out for them. But with the Braves bats, Marcell Ozuna, Ronald Acuna, Freddie Freeman, Travis d'Arnaud has been great this season. Those guys at the top of their lineup really pose a threat, as well as Ozzie Albies and Adam Duvall. Just that offense is ridiculous against a Marlins pitching staff who, as we get onto the starting pitching, I'll give the slight advantage to the starting pitching for the Marlins. Both of these teams will have a really young pitching staff. The Braves have had an injury-riddled season with their pitching staff. Mike Soroka going down with a torn Achilles. You hate to see that. Cole Hamels not being able to pitch more than 3 innings this year for them, and Felix Hernandez opting out of the season. The Marlins have good young pitching with Sixto Sanchez, Sandy Alcantara, Jose Urena has been on and off, been inconsistent. Pablo Lopez has been fairly good for them. And that's where I give a slight advantage to the Marlins. Sandy Alcantara and Sixto Sanchez might have one game where one of them is just so dominant, could even shut out the Braves and their potent offense. But other than that, if two of those guys have a dominant game, this series could definitely switch from the Marlins having better momentum. But if only one of them has a dominant game, I can still see the Braves pulling out this series. Also to note, the Braves put up 29 runs this year on Jorge Lopez and Jordan Yamamoto. So note that the Braves are mostly familiar with this offense. Oh, not Jorge Lopez, Pablo Lopez, my bad. And then as the bullpen, the Braves have a huge advantage in the bullpen. Set up men, a ton to choose from. Shane Green, Chris Martin, Darren O'Day, AJ Minter's been excellent this year. Tyler Matzek has even been good. The Braves have had a 3.40 bullpen ERA, one of the best bullpens in the league this year. And the Marlins have had a 5.50 ERA this year, worst out of any of the playoff teams. Brandon Kinsler's been pretty good for the past few weeks for the Marlins, but other than that, the bullpen's really struggled, and the Braves have had numerous comebacks against the Marlins in the past. So overall, this series with the offense, the advantage to the Braves, the starting pitching slightly to the Marlins, in the bullpen, again, another huge advantage for the Braves. I have the Braves winning this in 4. As I said, maybe Alcantara or Sanchez could have a dominant game, but other than that, I don't see how the Marlins can pull this series off. But hope you guys enjoyed my predictions. Once again, we'll go over the final predictions. I have the Rays in 5 games, but that will be close. I have the Astros in 5, but again, that'll be close. Both ALDS series will be really close. I have the Dodgers in 4 if Lamet and Clevenger don't come back, but if they do, the Dodgers will still win it in 5, but it might be close. And then the Braves in the Braves in 4, which I think will be the farthest, the least competitive out of any of the series. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know if you want more predictions for the ALCS, NLCS, and the World Series, or just any predictions in the future for the NBA or MLB. Let me know. See you guys later. Thanks.